today's video, I want to give you guys an update on a PlayStation 4 exclusive and the fact that it is completely finished. Medieval Remake has gone gold. Also, Cyberpunk 2077's post-launch content rollout will be similar to that of The Witcher 3's, and that is very exciting given that that game had a really smooth post-launch content rollout. And also, an upcoming Japanese RPG has gotten a free demo, and it is available right now on the PlayStation Store. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first up, the Medieval Remake has gone gold. Development on the Medieval Remake for PlayStation 4 has gone gold. Developer Other Ocean has announced. That means the game has completed development and is ready for mass production. What that means is that the game is going to be printed onto disc. However, the development studio is going to continue to work on the title, whether it be future updates, content drops, DLC, anything like that. Obviously, in this day and age, with online component being a major element to gaming, the work on the game is really never finished, even if the studio is going to put their foot off the gas, so to speak. The game itself will still have work to be done to it. Here's an overview of the title via the PlayStation Store. It notes, relive the original adventure on PlayStation 4. The beloved fan favorite has been completely remade from the grave up, blending classic gameplay with stunning visuals, all in eye-popping 4K. Step into the bones of Sir Daniel Fortesque, a slightly inept and long-dead knight accidentally resurrected by his greatest enemy, the evil sorcerer Zarok. With a second chance to foil his greatest foe, Dan will once again set out to save the kingdom of Gallowmere and earn his place as a true hero. Now, Medieval coming back on PlayStation is something that so many of you guys have wanted. I've been seeing my comment section personally, and I always see a couple people before Medieval was announced to be remade on the PlayStation 4. A lot of you guys were like, man, I want to see Medieval make a comeback. Well, now it's coming, and it's coming in time right before Halloween, so it is a great timely release, and best of all, it is going to be priced at $29.99. This is a game that I think if it was priced at even $40, God forbid $50 or $60, it would really have a hard time finding commercial reception, but at a smoother $30 price point, I think that'll make it do really, really well. Not every game has to be, you know, $60, and whenever a game during this holiday season is priced at a lower price point, $30 especially being 50% of your traditional MSRP for a big budget release, that is definitely a lot more palatable. Now, it is obvious that Medieval is going to be a smaller game. It is, after all, a remake of a PlayStation 1 title. However, I still imagine that it's going to be a rather good game, and we saw with releases such as Ratchet & Clank, which was a remake of a PlayStation 2 game, that was released at $40, and that seemingly did very well as well, so I expect something very similar out of Medieval come October 25th. Okay, moving on from that, Cyberpunk 2077's post-launch content rollout will be similar to that of The Witcher 3's. Recently, CD Projekt Red teased its plans for Cyberpunk 2077's post-launch DLC. Both free content and paid story expansions are things the studio wants to develop for the sci-fi title. Exactly what the free content may entail remains to be seen. However, I would imagine that would be smaller items such as cosmetics, not necessarily gameplay extensions, but hey, that's something I'll definitely appreciate. But it also looks like there's going to be some form of paid expansions. Level designer Max Pierce spoke on the game, and Pierce noted as much during a Tokyo Game Show 2019 interview with Video Game Chronicle when questioned whether CD Projekt Red has set plans in place for Cyberpunk 2077's free content. Pierce admitted he doesn't have much to say in how things will function in that respect, yet he did explain that precedent set by The Witcher 3 is guiding the team forward. He specifically noted, as a level designer, it's not my decision, but I know the team is definitely looking into what we should do. With Witcher 3, the game got better with quality of life updates for the community as well, like how we improve the UI and things like that, so we'll be listening to feedback, but we do have focus on what the DLC will be. Now, obviously, The Witcher 3 got some free updates and some other refinements. However, the major DLC came in the form of paid expansion with Hearts of Stone as well as Blood and Wine. Hearts of Stone was $9.99, and I believe Blood and Wine was $19.99. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe that was the price point, and those DLC turned out really well. I know a lot of you guys are inherently against DLC, myself included. I'm not a big fan of it, but as long as the base game is plentiful with content, if you want to release some sort of DLC that is an extension to the story, not locking the finality of the game behind story DLC, nothing like that, but an extension, more content for those that want to check it out, by all means do that. And I know what the game plan is. CD Projekt Red definitely wants to put out Cyberpunk 2077. Maybe they'll do Cyberpunk 2077 on the PlayStation 5 and next Xbox, and what better way to entice a lot of people that didn't check it out on the previous console, or even people that did check it out on the previous console but didn't pick up the DLC, then release an improved version, better visuals, better frame rate, and all of the DLC packed in. Simple business. It works well for Rockstar. I mean, Rockstar gets people to triple dip and double dip at the very least on games like Grand Theft Auto 5. In the case of CD Projekt Red, there's such a significant investment towards games like this that, yeah, you do want to juice a little bit more revenue out of people if you so see fit. In the case of CDPR, however, call me a fanboy, call me biased, whatever the case may be, I think their games are of high quality. I thought Witcher 3 from the get-go was an amazing $60 purchase. The DLC was even better, and if you waited for the Game of the Year edition, well, it ended up paying dividends for you, and you got all the content in one package. You got that refined version, and it turned out really well for you, but the base game was also rather good, and I'm hoping for something similar out of Cyberpunk 2077. And lastly, I do want to note that The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 has a demo that is available today. Get a head start and carry over your save data from the demo to the full game. Now, this is a little bit unfortunate because you definitely want to play the first two games before you jump into the demo, at least I would imagine as such, because this does contain the prologue. They've noted, and this is from Aaron Kim, Public Relations Coordinator at NIS America, quote, "We've brought The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 all around the world, starting from the first English build at MCM London Comic-Con to being playable at Gamescom in Germany, E3 and Anime Expo in California, Japan Expo in France, and PAX West in Washington. Finally, we're excited to bring the highly anticipated demo right to your home. Available today at the PlayStation Store, this demo contains the entire prologue and carries over the save data to the full game. In Trails of Cold Steel 3, you play as Rean Schwarzer, a graduate from the Thor's Military Academy who's starting his new life as an instructor at the Academy's branch campus." That honestly might be a little bit of a spoiler. I don't think it's that crazy of a spoiler, so if I spoiled you, my apologies. Probably shouldn't hear me talk about it anyway. The demo itself also contains in-game library with information on the previous two installments, along with character bios and other terminology, perfect for both a veteran's refresher or a beginner's first look, so anyone can jump into Trails of Cold Steel 3 with confidence and without missing a beat. I would highly recommend you to play the first two games before you play this demo. I'm reading from the PlayStation blog right now, and there's a lot of information that, of course, is a spoiler to the first two titles. Why spoil yourself the first two titles? The first two titles were so good, but from an NIS America standpoint, I could see why they don't really care, given that I believe the first two titles were published by Xseed, so why would they care in spoiling you of those two games? If you buy those games, the revenue is going to Xseed, they probably don't care. And I just found that a little bit funny, but nonetheless, the Trails of Cold Steel 3 demo is available right now. Download it for yourself if you played the first two games, or if you, for whatever reason, do want to jump into the third game. I highly would not recommend that, but nonetheless, that option is open to you as well. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, the Medieval remake has gone gold, and it is due out on October 25th. The studio is still probably working on updates, expansions, DLC, who knows what's gonna be coming to the Medieval remake, but at a $29.99 price point, very excited about that. What we do know is getting DLC is Cyberpunk 2077, and the post-launch content rollout is going to be similar to that of The Witcher 3's, and The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 demo is available today. Check it out if you do have interest in the game, and ideally you played the first two titles. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.